During my practice, I used to meet with clients who have somebody, a friend, a loved one, suffering from cancer, and they asking me advices. What should they do? What was helping me during my journey? Because I had a family member, actually two, who went through cancer. I was already here in Dublin, and I was just about to having my energy healing course, the third level that time, I remember, and that was the one what could specifically helping on cancer patients. And I wanted really doing that course too, because I just deep inside had a feeling that some of my family member will be soon having a cancer. I don't know why, and I wanted to learn everything about it. It was in 2011, and was already had my ticket to flying home, and I promised that I will help on that family member when I got the news that he died already. And the second was my father, where I was able to go there, stay with him, and I was there for healing him and giving him advices. And I planning to share that experience because that was really interesting. I learned a lot, but I don't think so that today it will be time for that, because what I wanted to share today is that what are the main steps when you know that somebody has a cancer. First of all, I think, and even me, who were quite optimistic and spiritual, and I know that everything is possible kind of mindset, obviously everybody got shocked. You will go with the doctor advices and lost in the world that's what's going on, because obviously you want the best for yourself if it's you, or for your family member if you are a helper. It really depends on the age of the person, the health. He had suffered from diabetes, heart disease, blood pressure, everything kind of what you can imagine in the package. It depends on what type of cancer the person has. I believe in it that every type of disease, that's how all of my business about, that I believe that every of the disease has a meaning for us. It's kind of like a sign, a knocking on our door that hello Mr., hello Mrs., something is going on and you need to aware, you need to change. It's actually a whole book about it, and it's written down all of the diseases and alignments, what they are meaning in a metaphysical level. And one day I just started to read this book and checked if it's true. Like, I mean, if I got any type of sickness, disease, I went, opened the page, checked it, and it was kind of true. But I checked it on my friends and kind of, let's say, anybody who I got any disease. So after I needed to realize that it's something in it. And so how is the connection here with the cancer? So if anybody has a cancer, the organ what is affected showing us that very what is, not where, the where is already there, but like what could be the reason, what we need to work with that person. The second important, so it was kind of like we need to work on many levels. One of the level is this, the inner level, what this wanna show to me, what I'm doing wrong, what I need to change, which changes in my life need to be done in order to make me happy, because something is blocked, something is not flowing. And this is the moment where any kind of bodywork, alternative therapy and energy healing kind of things could help, because it's all about the person beliefs, thoughts, kind of energy pattern, if we can say that. And that can be easily, so it can be just helped by those treatments, or even just a counseling if it's need. So my father had lung cancer. The place where your lung is, heart chakra. I already know the issue, that what was the reason why he was suffering, because after when this whole things happened, everything just somehow came out to the surface, and all the things what was already buried in the family came up to the surface, and I get the knowledge that he actually felt unloved all of his life. And this is the point when they saying that doesn't matter it's a fact or a fiction in his head, because the effect the same. So it means that doesn't matter that 20 people around him is loving and caring and holding on their palm him, because if he inside feeling that something is not the way as he wants, it's the effect the same. So I'm just saying this, that not all cases the reason is the real missing of love, if you get me. Anyway, so guilt and feeling unloved, and this was building in his body, affecting the area. To be honest, me as a therapist now, who read a lot about it, I even can a little bit connect things together. So already the diabetes was kind of starting from that as well. What the person can do is that from the outside, the food and everything what he is taking in, because what is really important to know that cancer is kind of like candida. I don't know if you ever heard about it. In Ireland I think they call it yeast infection, but it's kind of the same. Candida, yeast infection, parasite, sorry, I'm a parasite believer, and cancer, all kind of things like this, only able to live in a body where the balance is not good, what actually called acidic body. How we get acidic body? Environment, the things what we eat, what we put on our face, so literally everything. Obviously you can't do everything perfect, or you can't protect yourself 100% from everything, because I go out, the cars, the pollution, the air what I suck in, the building what I'm living in, the carpet what I'm sniffing in, whatever, okay? So it's really hard. I don't say it's impossible, but really hard to make an environment what is perfect. The target is not really on there. My believing is that if we have an environment what is kind of toxic, the human body is trying to adapt for that. So it means that I could go into a high radiation level if I'm kind of reaching the point that I'm used to it. Obviously not for tomorrow, but like, do you get me? So in this meaning, you can do as much as you can, but the main important is what you eat and what you drink. With cancer and even kind of almost all diseases are kind of malnutrition. Please let the patients know who's suffering from cancer that from now and then, the most important thing what he can do or she can do, alkalizing their body. Because in an alkalized body, the cancer is not able to stay alive. In order to do that, the reason why I'm sharing things, because in reality this is how people seeing it. When I said to my father that please don't drink coffee, don't eat any sugary things, don't eat meat, what he's saying, he was a 65 years old man, what his answer was, well, come on then, what I will do. And yeah, to be honest, without my knowledge, if a person would tell me when I got cancer that Andra, you can do this, can do that, and can't do nothing, can't smoke, can't drink your coffee, I would even feel that, you know what, I just get the information that I have a cancer. Obviously I'm shocked, and I just need to change everything in my life what I'm used to. Some of the people, and let's talk about generation who is my father and your father and their father and whatever. My father was a type who every day wake up in the same way, went to the same workplace, come home and did everything the same. Can you imagine that how much pressure for this type of people who do everything in the same order, that somebody tell one day that you can't drink your same coffee what you doing like 20-30 years or whatever. Obviously it's a big one. And if you could change your mind, and that's how your mind and thought is always everywhere, is really important. You can read any kind of books in any kind of topics, it's always saying all about mindset. If you're able to change your mind, how you see things, you will changing everything. Because what is important here, that I understand it's not easy to do, don't drink the coffee, don't eat sugary, but you don't need to do forever. You need to do until you will be free, will be healed or cured. Sugar is just making really acidic the body, so that's something what you want to absolutely avoid. Doing those things is alone not really will help. So as I said, it's already a malnutrition, and in this case the person needs to have very good high quality. One day I heard this from somebody, that you can use whatever you want, we can talk about quantities or qualities, but if I put one drop into a big dirty ocean, nothing will change. We all see the reality, yeah? Great. So in here, the main part is to make it good and high and consistency, alkalizing the body. What I did with my father, that I already was crazily obsessed with everything what I was reading, and I bought him a super green, Or is even though, I mean, there is more type of things like this. It could be, I bought actually the super green, what it contains barley grass and wheatgrass and spirulina and chlorella. It's the two last one is on algae from the sea, if you get me, from the ocean. They are alkalizing our body. Because when I went home to helping him, he was already in hospital and he had no poo for days, and I think that moment he basically should be finished there. So sorry about saying that, but that was the moment when he was almost to finish. Ran home from here and bring him this super green, and I didn't want to go into details with him because he wasn't really the guy who kind of, I would say, accepting my voodoo things. So I said to him that this is a tablet from vegetables and just take 2 today, and let's see that if you will have poo. I will share the whole story later, but not today. And then he came home from the hospital. He started to talk, eat, drink, had poo, so normal functions. The doctor didn't believe it. It wasn't just the spirulina, but it was a good basic. And I put him on a high dose, what means that I said to him to take 10 a day. Obviously it depends on what type of you're buying. Maybe the powder is the best, but I knew that he was not able to take the powder, because the powder you can put into a smoothie or whatever. Not everybody like that. It could be a little bit smelly, blah blah blah. I went for the tablet. He started to having the high dose, and I put him on vitamin D as well, because here is where I said that malnutrition is a really important fact. Usually people, and I'm talking now not just cancer, diabetes, highly malnourished with vitamin D. So in this case you have to have a very high dose, but it means that for me personally, I'm not a doctor, but me personally, I made my research, I would go for 10,000 daily. And if you go to, because people used to ask me where, so it's the same, go for quality. I used to go in healthcare shops, basically any, and choose the one where has the highest dosage, or kind of any. But then if it's a 3,000, obviously you need to use 3 times to reach the 10,000. If it's like 5,000, you need to use 2 times to reach the 10,000. Don't afraid to use it, you not will have any problem. And sunshine is really important, would be really important as well, because he was kind of an indoor patient, but it means that from that moment when he came out from the hospital, he never was on sun. So in this case the vitamin D is really, really important. Here or there, some point you will facing with the doctors. And I don't know how is it working here, but there it's working in a way that they said you can't use anything. I mean any supplements. And for me, and I'm waiting for your comments, maybe somebody here who more clever, but for my point of view, it's a little bit stupid, because if you think how a human body working, we eating to put the nutrition into our body, we going out, have sunbathing to have the vitamin D. And to be honest, when a doctor saying to me or to my father that during your chemotherapy you can't use vitamin supplement, sorry to say that, and that's why I'm saying if anybody has bigger knowledge, let me know. But for me it was like kind of using him as a lab rat, because what they need is a person who is absolutely clean, in a meaning of no any add-on thing or supplement. And let's see if I put under chemotherapy what I can reach, and they making a report about it. And basically he's a number that if the treatment was successful or not. This is how I see things. I think if my body working with nutrition and vitamins and everything is the same like how a car working. If I say that my oil from my car is gone, I will need to put oil inside. Definitely if the oil needs, then the oil needs. This is how I see things, unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know. So as I said, he was already 65, he was malnourished. If somebody have time, I recommend to start boosting. And when I say boosting, kind of anything, okay? Drinking, eating, supplementing, whatever. Boosting your immune system in order how you believe in it. If you believe in mushrooms or God know what, do that. Everybody has different ideas, different resonations, and believe me, all of the fruits, the vegetables and the flowers, whatever in the world, to heal us, to heal ourselves. And so I mean, I even heard that chamomile is maybe working in Hungary because that's our flower, what is originally growing there. But for China or Thailand or whatever people, the reason why they have those kind of fruits and those kind of vegetables or those kind of herbs, because that's what their resonation needs. So even go into these little things, they saying that you always go for local things. But if you feel that you need some crazy things, like I said, that whatever. There is 100 different things for curing cancer. The main important to focus the property. What's the property we want to do? Alkalize. And those simple things, you don't even need to buy the super greens, what I said, though that's really crazily highly recommended and good, because actually my father, it was like he was on like months, and he suffered from diabetes and high blood pressure for years, almost 20. And after months of using that, because he was under medical care, one day they made, it was already, he came out from the hospital when he was collapsed, and don't want to go into details, just later. He had a blood test, and on that blood test, he texted me that, oh, come on, in my last 20 years, I never had such a great blood test than this one. And even the doctor was surprised. And I'm like, wow, I can't believe it, really. And he said that yes, and to be honest, I was on 11 different of pills for the diabetes and for everything, kind of, for making the blood the normal consistency. And you know, just if you know these things, you know all of that. Anyway, it was 11 kind of different pills. And he said that since we're doing this experiment, kind of, he felt like a guinea pig. Then he left almost all of his pills. Except those what is really still really important, like this blood whatever, I don't know what was that, anyway. And I was really proud of him. And to go back to the topic, so alkalizing, and you have to understand with yourself, or with that person, that you doing it for yourself. You skipping your coffee for yourself, you skipping your beer for yourself, because if you will be able to do that, let's say 2 months, 3 months, then you will have maybe 5 extra years, or 10, or I don't know how old are you at the moment, but maybe 30, 40, 50. So is it worth to skip my coffee for 2 months if I will be healed? I think the answer is a yes. In this case, this is the hard point to reaching with the client, but I think the must, that you need to get this point to do it for yourself and skip those things what is harmful for at least just now. You can ask anybody who is in fitness interested, when they get slim and fit, they still eating the chocolate, but they strictly not doing it or making restrictions until they reaching what they want. So this is the same with the cancer. What we want? Cancer free. How we want to do that? It's like a joke, anyway. So how we want to do that? We want to do that in a way that we're skipping everything what is making our body acidic. I even used to recommend that in Amazon you can go for a test, a pee tester. I mean, I forgot now the exact name, like a pH tester of the pee. So it's like you making a pee on the paper, and you can see it's an alkalized or like, I mean, how alkalized or how acidic is your pee at that day. And then you can go forward what you need to do on that exact day. It's not need to be high budget to cure a cancer, because simple things like buying lemon and start every day, every morning your day with a lemon water. The lemon, even though I have a friend who don't believe in it, even though lemon is kind of a citrus and you would say that it's acid, or lemon is the one thing what is very funnily alkalizing. If you drink soda bicarbonate, or I don't know how others calling it, like bread soda, or what else is the common name for it, put in the water, drinking it, doing the same alkalizing. If you buy Epsom salt, you put in your bath, you sitting in it for 20 minutes, it's through the skin, sucking in the nutrition. The Epsom salt actually a magnesium salt, so magnesium will be sucking in through the skin as well, but that's alkalizing as well. Interestingly, it's not just alkalizing the body, as I said, putting in the magnesium, what is really important for the muscles, so that's why it could be good for even cramping. That's why massage therapists usually recommend for you to use it. It's a really, really good help for your body if you just sit in it and have a bath. To be honest, I used to maybe even put bread soda or this soda bicarbonate into my bath, because that's softening and that's detoxifying as well, and you can do it from inside and outside as well. That's why everything is good what is detoxifying. Sorry, you go for a sauna. When you go for a sauna, it's helping you because you sweating, and from the sweat you actually letting out everything what is inside and toxic for your body. It could be lead, it could be aluminium, it could be anything. That's the other thing what is really important in cancer, that the hard metals from the air, from anything we have in our body, and that could lead to cancer as well. So in this case, anything what is helping to let these things out, it's helpful. Juicing obviously would be great green juices. But even though if somebody, as I said, doing something is better than nothing, people asking why they need to drink, they drink enough. No, 1.5 liter is not enough. It's basically the same if I would say that I have a drain what is totally molded or hardened. I want that tube to be clean the way how I'm doing it, the biggest one, the baddest one, just flash out, lot of fluid, water, 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 juice, 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 lemon water, teas, obviously teas, any kind of herbal teas, what is could be cleansing, but I don't want to go into that details. It's just all about healing yourself. It's not exactly connecting to the cancer. So I hope I shared something for today, what was helping for you to start your journey or doing it better. And if you will have still a question, or I said something wrong, or I said something good, or anything, just feel free to comment. Can't force anybody, you can't force your loved one. You have to put your own effort into your own healing, because the heal starts within. So the everything else is just a tool. We are just a tool. I'm just a tool. I can't help anybody who don't want. This was my father as well. You can't help if they don't ask you. They need to ask the help. They need to accept, and they need to understand. And how much information is reaching you is always of the awareness. What are you? Where are you at the moment? Or where is he or where is she at that moment? And the only thing what we can do, share the informations, and let's see that how much they are open for. Thank you for listening. Hope it wasn't really boring or too much. Thank you.
Happy, Matt?